Hello YouTube friends,
Hi.
welcome to The Last Homely House. I'm Kate and this is Anna, and today we're going to do the prize draw giveaway for this quilt, which was in the video a couple of weeks ago that we made for my 5th birthday. Thank you to everyone who's entered that prize giveaway. There are thousands of entries, and we did have that little hiccup with the spam thing.
Yeah, it was so strange, wasn't it?
It was awful actually,
Yeah.
because we're doing a nice thing and then this telegraph person comes in, and I really hope that nobody got scammed by that or there were no consequences. We've done all we can to try and minimise that happening on this last video, but also in future videos we'll do our best.
Oh, but I felt so bad for the people who thought they'd won as well.
I know, and I did.
I got lots of emails of people being like,
Hooray, I win!
Yeah.
Did I really win? Well,
Yeah.
I'll say right now, and I'll say any time I do another giveaway, that I'll only ever announce the giveaway myself on a video like we're going to do today.
And then only ever contact us through the website. I think that's an important one as well. Because the Telegram thing was telling you to download an app and then contact us. Or only ever contact us through the website.
Yeah, if you need to contact us about anything, there's a contacts page on the website.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
That's the way to do it, yeah.
Yeah.
So I would never communicate with you. And the thing that I hated about that was they used my little picture at the beginning of the comment.
It's horrible.
Isn't the internet becoming a difficult place to enjoy yourself? Well, not our little corner of the internet. It definitely isn't. So, but what I want to do today, before we announce the winner, we've got the comments here on the video, and I'm going to do some more stitching on this quilt. Now, last week's video was very well received. Thank you very much. It's where I made these 2 cushions to try and work out which quilting pattern I was going to use on Agnes's quilt. Now, you looked at these, didn't you? It's hard to see the quilting pattern unless you're close up.
Yeah.
Did you have an opinion about which one I should use?
Yeah, I mean, I think you made the right choice, but I also really like this one.
Yes, I like
that one
this.
looked a lot more complicated.
This one was the Baptist fan, if you remember from last week's video, and this one, the blue one, is the grid pattern that just yeah, so that's the one I've chosen to do. It is a little easier, but I also do like how it looks very much.
I like a simple.
Yeah, I like simple.
Yeah.
I really do. I mean, Anna's going to be hand quilting her quilt, and so we'll be looking at all sorts of simple ways of doing that.
Yeah.
So should we tell them that your fabric's arrived, or shall we leave it as a surprise?
Yeah.
We just leave that hanging in the air, that Anna's fabric has arrived for her quilt, and as soon as we get time we're going to make another video about Anna making her quilt.
I keep like poking my head in and peeping at it.
So she arrives at work in the morning and the first thing she does is go and have a look at it. I said she could take it home with her.
I know, but I would just forget it on the day we're actually going to quilt
Yeah,
it.
exactly. So we're going to be doing that one hopefully quite soon. For now though, I'm going to stitch away on this project, and you're going to read out some comments.
Yeah.
From the comments section. I read loads and loads and loads of them, and I've really enjoyed. There's been a lot of people whose names I recognise from the very early days of when I started out, and I had like a half a dozen of you. So the videos now are going out to 75,000 subscribers. We've just tipped over to that now. YouTube always send you an email to say, congratulations, you've got 75,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
But when I look at the statistics, in the back shop of YouTube, there's still 40% of people watching the videos who aren't subscribed.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Anyway, up to you. If you want to subscribe, you can. I'm
Yeah.
going to stitch, Anna's going to read comments.
Okay. So, am I reading out the names or am I just reading the comments?
First name or...
I'll read first names.
That'll work, won't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll recognise
Not
yourselves.
that anyone would be able to work out where they were
No.
in the world or who they were.
Oh, who they were.
from
Well,
name on YouTube.
we're not Telegraph, are we?
No, we certainly
No,
aren't.
we are not Telegraph.
Okay, so Jennifer says, currently I'm making a quilt for a lady who's developing dementia. It includes the embroidered names and birth and anniversary dates of her immediate family
What a wonderful thing.
so that she can see each one, remember. I'm putting a tree of life in each corner.
That's awesome.
That's so nice.
That is so awesome, Jennifer.
Yeah.
What a beautiful thing to do.
Yeah, it's so nice, isn't it?
Oh, we're going to be here for a long time if we're going to answer all these comments.
Well, I don't
so
think
many
there
beautiful
are
comments.
thousands of them. I don't think we can do
There's
that.
so many beautiful comments. That's just lovely.
So what I maybe should do is I'll scroll down like this and then stop it.
That's what you should do.
Because otherwise I was just about to read the next one immediately after because that's also lovely. But
Well,
that's
they're
not
all
the
lovely.
way to do it.
Because if you
Yeah.
remember in that birthday video, what I asked was just to leave a comment saying, what craft are you working on whilst you're sitting on the lime green sofa watching The Last Homely House? And that's what Anna's going to be telling me now.
So there's also, some of the messages are quite long with lots of really lovely kind words about how amazing you are.
Well,
Which is very kind. So maybe I'll just read the bit when they talk about the
yeah,
project they're working on.
don't tell me about.
Because otherwise Kate's just going to be blushing all the
I
way
am
through
going to be
this.
blushing. You're very, very, very kind, all of you.
Well, I can use this person's name because maybe this is their name, White Hawk.
White Hawk.
That's a good
I love that
YouTube
one.
name, isn't
That's
it?
a great name.
or
White Hawk.
actual name. That
Or
would be even cooler.
White Hawk. Well,
Yeah.
let's see what's White Hawk got to say for themselves.
She says that she has several projects going on. I'm finishing an upcycled bag made from old jeans that my friend gave me, and I'm making a vegetable lasagna for my son.
Oh, that's a good thing.
Excellent.
Good. Didn't you have lasagna for your wedding anniversary
Yeah.
recently, Anna?
And then yesterday, the leftovers, which with lasagna is even better the next day, isn't it?
Always better to leave pasta a day.
And then she also says, I have plans for a quilt of found fabric.
Okay.
And you've inspired me to find a quilter to quilt my grandmother's Dresden quilt.
Right. And if you're in the UK, I can't recommend Kath more highly. I don't know where you live, but Kath's a fantastic. She long-armed this one for me, behind me here, and it very, very generously bumped me up the queue so that it will be ready in time for my birthday party. I'm marking out this, by the way. I'm using this chalk clover tool because I find this one really good. It's got very, very fine powdered chalk inside, and it just marks the quilt. I find it really useful to use. Okay, Anna, over to you.
Sorry,
She's reading them all.
I am. Okay, Jericho.
Oh, I love all these names.
I know, very good, aren't they?
Yeah.
Says that you're a haven of peace for us all, which is very kind.
Well, that's really kind.
Lovely. They say that they tend to gravitate towards slow, lengthy knit projects, especially cardigans and blankets. Oh, I wish I could make a cardigan. I mean, I'm never going to be a knitter.
The thing is, we're doing Teach Anna to make a quilt. Next year, should we do Teach Anna to knit?
I don't think I will be very good at it. I've tried a couple of times and given up quick.
I think a couple of years ago, you wouldn't have thought you'd be making a quilt with this beautiful fabric.
Yeah.
So we'll do this. Maybe we'll do the same with knitting. And I think I'd just like to pick up that point there about how slow big projects. This is a slow big project, and I, for one, will be a little bit sad when it's over.
Yeah.
Although I have got my next EPP project lined up.
Yeah.
I'm auditioning it right now.
They say, at the moment, I'm in the last couple of inches of a cotton yarn blanket that I knit throughout the summer. I work in a high stress setting and knitting has been my sanity.
And there you are. That's the thing. Get into your hands and out of your head. And it's a great stress reliever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Somebody else who takes a long time to finish things. Excellent.
Ali says, currently I'm finishing the binding on my Christmas quilt and knitting on my Mon Manet sweater. What's Mon Manet?
Show me where you're pointing. Mon Manet sweater. No idea. Sounds great though.
Yeah.
Bindings. When I was at the Festival of Quilts and I had that fantastic chat with Kay Fassett and Brandon Mabley, he was talking to a group of people about his quilts, and he said, and he's quite upfront about the fact that he doesn't sew his quilts. Other people sew them for him. He said other people who are much more accurate than me. He said, but I do like sewing on a binding. So if you're doing a binding, invite me for lunch. I thought, how cool would it be to invite Kay Fassett for lunch, have him sit over there with a cup of tea.
That would be cool, wouldn't
And
it?
the late and binding on this.
Yeah.
Let's go for that.
Yeah.
Just before I let Anna check the next one, Anna.
Mm-hmm.
What I've got in this little dish here is lots of different colours of blue Aurifil 12, and that's what I'm quilting this with. All sorts of different blues, because I think that will work really well.
Okay, so Anita, she says, I am now a maker of many things.
Good.
My top 5 items are hand towels for the kitchen and everywhere else, a zipper pouches, placemats, shopping and tote bags.
Okay,
Oh,
wow.
That's a good person to know.
You're a good person to know.
I want all of those things, that'd be great. My passion is no textiles being wasted. That's a good passion.
It's a good passion to have, and it puts me in mind of Chris English, who I've been watching on Instagram a fair bit lately. He's got some lovely new
I saw
quilts
a few
coming.
things.
Yeah, I've just put a knot in the end of this thread, and if people are worried about that, I'm going to bury it deeply into the wadding and do a few stitches and then cut that knot off. That's the way that I like to do it.
I'm going to take my cardigan off because it is warm.
It is warm in here. I lit the fire. It's a horrible day out there, really horrible. Anna, just lift the iPad up because I'm needing to scoot this quilt back along here.
It looks so lovely on here. I'm going to miss it.
I am. Well, don't worry. I'm auditioning the next one.
Yes. You got lots of exciting projects.
I have actually. I have more than we have time to make.
Yeah.
But I'll make time.
Yes. So Anita carries on. After saying my passion is no textiles being wasted, I've turned my fabric hoard, or tried to turn it into a semi-organised stash, and instead of occasionally sewing, I'm now a daily businesswoman working to make a difference in my life and the lives of others.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well done.
Very cool.
Very, very cool indeed.
I'm going to scroll. Some nice messages.
Yes, just scroll randomly. Everywhere you stop, though, you're going to find a lovely message, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're all so awesome.
Lots of people as well just being like, oh, hello, you're so great, and having a nice time on the lime green sofa,
Well,
which is lovely.
And I think as well you might be noticing that people are replying to each other.
Yeah.
And that liking people's comments, because some of the comments will have lots of likes on them, won't they? And I love that you're sitting down there. I know I keep going on about my sofa, but I do love it. And you're sitting down there on the sofa enjoying each other's company. So you go through the comments and you can like or you can respond. I love that.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, Anna.
So, what's your name? Betty
Hi, Betty.
said that she is currently making 3 sets of postage stamp curtains like yours. I've admired them since I first saw them on your channel. In the evenings I work on hand sewing fabric books that I create using all kinds of scrap fabric, fibres, buttons and beads. Ooh.
I think all of you people should start YouTube channels so that I can watch them.
Yeah, that's
Wouldn't
cool.
that be cool?
Yeah, totally.
Well, I'm pleased. I think there are quite a lot of postage stamp curtains out in the world now.
Yeah.
And the ones that are facing me here are quite faded now, but I like that. But the new ones that I put in the porch, and that was in a video about a month ago, maybe. The new curtains are very bright and vibrant. And so, and people sometimes say, are the curtains lined to prevent that fading? And they are. But I don't mind the fading. They're just lined with a sheet of cotton. Have you got another one for me, Anna?
Okay. Oh, this is cool. So this person says, I don't know how to say their username. I was Sendar?
I was Sendar.
That's what I was thinking it was.
I was Sendar. We'll have that.
Yeah.
I'll accept that.
Yeah. And theirs is really cool. I know I said that for every single one, but they are all really
They're
cool.
all cool. Go on.
Right now, I'm knitting retro slippers from a pattern that was created in the 1950s.
Wow.
How cool is that?
Amazing.
Knitted slippers, they sound really cozy.
Knitted slippers, they do sound cosy. Now I know Arne and Carlos do a knitted slipper.
Do they?
Yes, in big wool that they felt down in the washing machine.
That's a good
so
idea.
you get a felted slipper.
Like my slippers that you gave me.
Yes, I bought a pair of slippers a couple of years ago now, online. And this is the problem with buying things online. When they got here, they were lovely slippers, but they were way too small for me. So you ended up with them, didn't you?
It was a good day.
It was a good day. And you're still using them?
Oh yeah, they've got a big hole in them, so I need to fix that.
Okay.
I live in Canada. Slippers are a necessity.
Yeah, they really
Every
are.
year I make slippers for friends and family to keep their feet toasty. Oh, it's so nice.
I'm going to check out Arne and Carlos' slipper recipe. I'm sure they've got it for sale, you know, because it'd be cool to make some slippers for folk, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would.
Maybe out of some of my hand-spun wool.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's quite thick.
That
would be a cool...
What a good idea.
Thank you for that, Invercargill.
They also say, I am also working on an English paper piecing quilt that you gave me the inspiration to try.
Great.
This is the first quilting project I've attempted and I'm loving it. Yay!
I think I like that comment a lot because sometimes people will look at something like this and think, well, I like that, but there's no way I could do that.
Yeah.
So easy. It's so easy. And that's what that video last Sunday and also the one a couple of Sundays before, which is like I'm explaining to absolute beginners the basics of how to do this. And it's, honestly, it's so easy. Are we going to get you into English paper piecing?
Yeah, I would really like to try it. What I am envious of, because I do my sewing here, because Kate's got all of the stuff, and I just live in a little cottage.
Yeah.
So it'll be
Actually,
hard to
I'm just
store
going
it
to say
all.
she lives in a little tidy cottage.
It's
So the
very
last thing
tidy.
you want is a load of stash tumbling out of boxes all over the place.
Yeah, it would be hard to find the space. Although, you know the secret thing that we're making next year?
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking I was going to reserve a corner of that for a sewing room.
Secret thing.
I can't tell you. But I will at some point.
Say nothing. So many things we can't talk about.
No, must be very frustrating. Knitted slippers, very cool.
Very cool. Or warm.
Yes.
Very warm.
Because I imagine in you know the very cold parts of Canada and stuff, there's huge amounts of times where you're almost like hibernating in the winter, right?
Well, I'm preparing for hibernation, I tell you.
We still got a few weeks of...
Oh,
I sat in the sunshine outside yesterday, it was alright.
I'm not very good with dark nights and winter. I don't do very well.
I'm okay up until Christmas, and then after that I'm like, oh no.
I think that's why I surround myself with so much colour.
Yeah.
Because it's a massive antidote to dark winter days. Okay, keep going. Next one. Because we're not running out of comments. That's for sure.
No. Diane says, love watching your peaceful videos and hearing the occasional meows.
Now, as for meows,
where are they?
Cat Rita has found a new place to sleep. Ever since the postage stamp quilts went up in the porch that's had this big makeover, which is where my spinning setup is now, she's found a little corner and I've put a knitted blanket in there for her.
Aww.
And she sleeps in that knitted corner
Has she been
there.
there all day?
All day long.
Cats are so different to dogs, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a dog person and it blows my mind.
She is. So I feed her in the first thing in the morning and she goes there and she'll be there till late tonight. Now Sadie,
Amazing.
who's got a basket over there, really nice warm cosy basket, is outside
Is
in
she?
the pouring rain and wind.
Oh, it's horrible out there.
Except there's loads of barns and places to go. She'll have found somewhere snug and warm to be. She's good at being snug and warm, is Sadie.
She is. So Diane continues, I'm 71 and I've just started quilting during COVID. My daughter and her husband have just completed paperwork for adoption. Since when they are able to get a baby, it will be a total surprise. I'm making 2 baby quilts for a boy and a girl.
How absolutely marvellous.
So nice.
Well, congratulations to come.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, what cool thing to do.
What great people I've got sitting
I know,
around
all of
there.
them, they're so nice, aren't they? And so many of them for other people.
That's the most selfless thing, isn't it?
It's nice.
But all this stuff's getting given to other folk. Someone you've never even met yet.
Yeah.
You'll love being a grandma. It's the absolute best thing.
So, Green Cheek says, I have to tell myself not to take up yet another hobby.
Ooh, no.
Does that sound familiar?
No, you don't have to do that.
I have far too much fabric, jeans and deconstructed men's shirts for quilting. Excellent.
Oh, there's a bit of a Chris English kind of vibe going on there.
There's also stained glass and broken china for mosaics, embroidery floss, lace and silk ribbon for crazy quilting, a bit of yarn for crochet, antique sewing machines to service and rehome, and I've just finished pulling out 6 half-inch novelty squares to piece for a quilt donation group excuse me, called Project Linus.
Oh, Project Linus.
Mm.
My mum used to make quilts for Project Linus. She made
really?
dozens of them. Yeah, and Project Linus was at the Festival of Quilts. And I think a lot of people will be familiar with it. It's an international thing. And Project Linus. Now, you have to go back to Peanuts and Charlie Brown. Do you know that comic strip?
I know it, but I never watched it.
I loved it. Well, I had the books years ago. And there's a character, Linus, who's my favourite character. In fact, John was this close to being called Linus.
Really?
Yeah, after this character. And he's a shy little boy, so that's where it ended there.
Yeah.
And he carries his blanket around with him all the time.
Oh,
and
yeah,
so
I know that.
you know that Linus has got his comfort blanket with him. So this idea of Project Linus was to make quilts, baby quilts, small quilts, little children's quilts, for children in all sorts of situations. So children in hospital for an awfully long time. They give quilts to all sorts of people.
That's so nice.
It is, isn't it? And Mum made dozens of Project Linus quilts, and she would make one in an afternoon from a charm pack or something like that, and you can make them quite quickly. So that's really nice to get a reference to Project Linus. Do you know something? I've never made a quilt for Project Linus, and I think I should.
You totally should.
I should, shouldn't I?
Yeah,
right.
Lovely.
I will make a Project Linus quilt.
Yes.
Probably not hexagon stitched by hand,
No.
but I will make one.
What's embroidery floss?
Oh, that stuff that's in the cabinet that was on the jigsaw.
Yes.
It's just another name for embroidery thread. It's the 6-stranded stuff.
Yes, yeah.
Speaking of the cabinet that was in the jigsaws are back in the shop now. And I'm really pleased about that.
Yeah.
And we've also, we are chatting here and there today. We've reduced the amount you have to spend in order to get free tracked worldwide shipping. So that makes it a little easier now on the pocket. Okay, we leave links to all of this in the show notes below each video.
This is a cool one. Michelle says, while sitting on the lime green sofa, I'm making multimedia collage art and fulfilling handmade jewellery orders for my Etsy shop.
Oh, how lovely.
Very good, in Northern California.
Oh, lovely. You've got an Etsy shop. Good luck with that. Very creative. Yeah, mixed media stuff. I like doing that. In fact, it's kind of there on the back burner with me to get back to making some of that kind of stuff with the books I used to make. I really would like to, but there aren't enough hours in the day, are there?
Yeah.
No, there aren't.
No.
And every birthday you get another year older, don't you? Which is, when you get to my age, that's quite, it's a little concerning. I'm not running this through beeswax because it's behaving beautifully, but I think if I was doing really long runs and it was tangling, I'd have no problem at all in using a bit of beeswax on there. So I'm just going to scoot, and I'm actually not going all the way along because you're sitting there, so I'm just going to start from this end and do a bit more. Okay, how's it going there, Anna?
Yes, good. Susan says cake looks delicious. It was delicious.
It was.
And she says, I've been doing some embroidery to patch up some of my favourite shirts, and your handwork reminds me of how much I love doing that.
That's a really good thing, some creative mending. I did a bit of creative mending for Agnes the other day. She has all of her mum's Martha, all her old toys. And Panda, who's a little knitted panda, this kind of size, has a big hole in the back of his arm, or her arm, their arm. And I darned it, and I took it I went to see her yesterday, and I took it, and she was amazed that this was now mended, and Panda's got a bit more life. But yeah, visible mending is one of my favourite things.
Annette says, congratulations, 5th birthday.
Thank you.
Very good. I'm currently putting the final blocks to a Quilt As You Go hexagon quilt. Quilt As You Go.
Now, I know why Anna's picked that comment out, because ever since I got back from the Festival of Quilts and I'd taken that film with Chris, you've been really interested in Quilt As You Go.
Yeah, I think
and it's not a technique I've ever done. So I've watched a lot of videos about how to do it, and there's so many different ways of doing it. And I don't want to have sashing on mine. I want to do it like Chris does it, where so next year we're going to start a Quilt as You Go project, Anna. So
that'd be brilliant.
It will. We're going to do a lot of things next year.
Yeah, next year's going to be great.
Just a couple more, and then I think we should think about drawing this prize. What do you think?
Yeah. Okay. Well, then I'll do a big old scroll to the bottom.
Scroll a long way back.
Yeah.
Far as you can go. Yeah, and I'm really sorry that we haven't been able to reply to every single comment. But I haven't drawn it yet. Before we do draw it, I really do wish you all the best of luck. Before Anna reads the next one, I just want to show you this. I made a bag for it out of when Kath quilted this was leftover backing. It was quite a big wodge of leftover backing. Thank you, Kath. And so I've made this bag here, and it fits into it absolutely beautifully. It's got a little drawstring there, so the quilt will arrive in that bag there. So we'll put it in there later.
So Krista says, I've wanted to learn to knit socks for years, but never got round to doing it. Your approach to craft and the way that you make it so easy to understand has got me thinking, just do it. So I've jumped in the deep end and I'm sitting here knitting socks, and it's my first time doing Tunisian knitting. What's that?
Tunisian knitting. Tunisian crochet?
It says Tunisian knitting.
Don't know really. I've never been to Tunisia. Don't really know about how they do their crocheting. But I thought it was Tunisia crochet. Well, good. What I'd say is just how hard can it be? Let's get that on a t-shirt. How hard can it be? And the thing is, what happens if you have to pull it out once or twice? You get there.
Yeah, you learn from all this.
Yeah. And it's fun. And it gets your brain going.
Absolutely. They also say, I've started to collect fabrics from second-hand shops, so my next project will be my very first quilt.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
And then they say, greetings from Denmark.
Ah, hello.
So they're on the Danish end of the lime green sofa.
That's it. Oh, it's got a nice little spur that goes out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really comfortable in Denmark.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe two more, Anna?
Okay. Sorry.
And we apologise again for the people that we haven't been able to include.
Sorry.
Don't be sorry. Never be sorry. That's the other word that I banned from this house. Sorry. So I'm loving doing this stitching. Normally, if Anna's not sitting here reading comments from the iPad, I wouldn't start a new row. I'd go all the way to the end, turn it round and come all the way back again. But I don't mind a bit doing it this way today.
Yeah. Okay, Mary says,
Hi, Mary.
Good evening, Kate, and to all of those on the lime green sofa. When I sit here with you, I could be enjoying any number of creative pursuits. I am a hand spinner with a drop spindle and spinning wheel.
Now, I tried that once.
Yeah.
The drop spindle. And I can do it, but my yarn on a spinning wheel is pretty lumpy. But on a drop spindle, I wasn't... Yeah. Kudos to you, Mary.
She says, my wheel is a shacked matchless. Is that how you pronounce that?
Shacked matchless. Mine is, someone was asking this, mine is an Ashford original. Yeah, that's what mine is. From New Zealand.
Mary says, I also weave, knit, crochet, sew, quilt, cross stitch, embroider both by hand and machine, and make bobbin lace.
Wow. And sometimes you actually manage to stop and eat. Wow. Well, you see, that's the thing. Once you start doing stuff like this, there's so many other wonderful crafts that are all to do with textiles and take you off in all sorts of different directions. And there's not enough hours in the day to do them all. So I've got this thing called Random Comment Picker. Let's pick a winner. Valerie St Clair. Currently, I'm using sewing as part of my healing of a brain injury from a car accident. Oh, poor thing, Valerie. I'm doing some hand embroidery and trying to get back to finish the quilt I was making for my granddaughter when I had this accident. It was an underwater theme quilt with fish. That's so lovely. I love your channel. My dad had a very similar accent and I find it comforting and awesome to listen to you. That is awesome, Valerie. And so now what I need you to do, please, is go to my website, go to the comment page and send me your address. Could you do that? The contacts page on my website. Well done, Valerie. That's really, really, really brilliant. Congratulations. And I'll see you next week with something else. Well done, Valerie. I wish you could all have won. Such a shame. Right, I'll screenshot that so that I've got it. There we go. And I've got my winner.